All right, here we are with Vladimir Shafranov, all the way from Finland. And we're going to discuss your new record. We're going to talk about Japan a little bit, maybe some of your older recordings that I have here that I wanted to talk about. So,
Yes,
welcome again. Good to see you. It was
thank you
fun to
very
see
much.
you over in
Thank you for having
Japan.
me.
Oh, it was wonderful meeting you over in Japan. I really had a good time, and it was fun
Unbelievable.
seeing you play live, which was a great experience, I must say, Vladimir. I really
Oh,
enjoyed
thank you very much. Yeah, and you got
watching
to
you
be in
play.
studio when we made the record.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that. I'm excited about
It's
when that comes out.
yeah, it's a kind of historical happening in some ways. Not only because it was direct to disc, but also my first studio recording in Japan and first time with Japanese musicians. I mean, in studio. I have made records about four or five in Japan with Japanese musicians on their request, their uh, their initiative. But Venus, funnily enough, we can talk about this. We can talk about the Japanese policies, and uh, for some reason, Venus have never used Japanese musicians.
Well, that's true. You see a lot of, yeah, there are a
Yeah,
lot of American musicians,
we
and
can talk about that. Yeah,
yeah, it's
in
interesting.
Japan, it's reverse. It's reverse of what's happening in Europe. In Europe, they push. It's a very high nationalistic uh, politics. They push their own. They have like two categories. Especially, I remember in France, it was like this. It had to be black Americans, and then or French musicians. There's nothing in between. If you're somewhere in between, you just don't exist so much. So in Scandinavia here, they also support most of all, and perhaps quite logically, they support their own. You know, but in Japan is the reverse. I mean, all the good jobs in like entertainment business in hotels and everywhere, they prefer to have an American or European. That's the image they want to project. Even at the expense, the player may not be as good as a Japanese musician. It doesn't matter. They want to have this aura of foreign musician playing, in the expensive hotels. I was in Japan all over different hotels, and they usually bring somebody from States or Europe, and I don't know Japanese music. I've very seldom seen Japanese musicians working in luxury hotels. They still have live music though, so that's of course great. In some places, like in Osaka, Ritz Carlton, which was a very exclusive bar. I used to go there. It's a fantastic bar, and they had choice cigars and all kinds of cocktails and everything. So I used to go there after the concert, and they always have been someone who plays a piano okay but sings. That kind of situation where they play a bit, and sometimes they would have a background, some kind of background rhythm section, recorded rhythm section, and they would sing some mostly kind of soul, maybe some standards, but mostly some soul funk kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, uh, tell us about the two Japanese musicians you played with in the studio and that you played around with while you were there. Tell us about the bass player and the drummer. I thought they were
Well, the
incredible.
drummer is my drummer, and I usually work with him. Uh, we had three different bass players on this tour. All three excellent. Of course, Satsuki, it's almost, well, he only did two concerts with us. He did one that you've missed in some time. Were the most important ones in Tokyo. But he's played with me for many, many, many years. I started playing with him when he was barely 20.
What were the name of the two? What were the name of the two that were in the studio that I met there? The bass player and drummer.
I'm talking about him, the bass player.
What was his name?
He called Satsuki Kusui. Satsuki Kusui.
Okay, and then the drummer.
He's one of the top guys in Japan. Unfortunately, he tells me he's going to go back to Sapporo to help his parents. So he's going to be away from playing.
Huh? Yeah, he's very good, and the drummer too.
For a while, I told him, that he should be one of the last persons to quit playing because he's so talented. He's incredibly talented. I always told him he could go to New York and he could be working with the top guys because he's just so good. He knows all the tunes and he's got perfect pitch, so he can hear everything, and he reacts everything. And he, on top of that, Japanese musicians, they have a big collection, so everybody knows the records that you're supposed to know. I'm always amazed. So many years that I have traveled to Japan, I'm still amazed how much the Japanese musicians know. Tunes that are almost obscure over here is just like everyday kind of thing. I dug up, for many years I wanted to play this Finnish Newborn tune, Sugar Ray. And, nobody plays it here. Turn out every bass player I play with knows that tune. So Japanese pianists apparently play that tune on a regular basis. It's like a regular. I didn't need to write down or explain anything. So, and that is the case with many tunes. Be it jazz tunes or standards. Well, they pick standards very, very quickly. So yeah.
And then the drummer too. The drummer was very good.
He knows a lot of stuff. And they have quite a few drummers. But I'm always amazed more at the level of a bass player, because I think that's the basis in any trio. Of course, a drummer is very important, but if you don't have a good bass player, that can follow you with all the harmonic changes and everything, then you're in trouble, But I'm always surprised at the level and the knowledge. I think the reason for it is that the abundance of jam sessions in Japan. I think that's the real school. They have to go somewhere. And did you happen to go to Intro or Cotton Club?
No, I didn't make it to those.
Go to the jam session place. Well, you missed out because it's quite an experience to go to.
There were so many places, Vladimir. There were so many places, and I was sick the first week, and I only got to get to so many of them. The whole last week I was at
4 hours. You could have gone after you gone to club. You could go because it goes like Intro and Cotton Club. They go until wee hours in the morning because in Japan many people they don't live in central Tokyo, so the subway is closed after 12 or 1, I forget. So if they don't make the train, then they have to stay up until 5 or whatever it is in the morning when they open up again. So jam session goes until 5 in the morning, at least until 5. So, so the many musicians that live outside of Tokyo, they just have to stay and play.
Yeah, well, hopefully, I'm hoping to get back next year again, so I'm planning on it, depending on what happens with. But tell us about. Go ahead.
Once I was spending more time in between the gigs. I was spending more time in Tokyo, so I used to go to the sessions. Like in Cotton Club, it's very funny. You get to play maybe a couple of tunes, and there are many people who want to play. Many piano players too. But in the end, which is very specific for this jam session, I never seen it anywhere else. After jam session is all over and it's the last tune, everybody who played comes and play in that tune. Like play a little bit, one chorus maybe, and then switch. One chorus to switch. But everybody who has been at the session play the last tune.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I've never seen it anywhere else.
Yeah. So, Vladimir, tell us about in the recording studio, King Recording Studio, where you were cutting direct to disc,
Yes.
and it was one tune at a time. So pretty much, you guys went in, you picked a tune, you played a tune, they cut it direct to the lacquer. Then you had about 15 minutes for them to set up for the next one and record. How was that different compared to how you usually record when you do a record? And did it have any effect on how you played or how you thought about what you were going to play?
Not very much, because usually I do one take, 2 takes at the maximum. So we did 2 takes on one tune, but otherwise it was all one take, as I remember. The unnecessary breaks in between, I try to avoid when I'm in studio. I don't go to studio. I go one time for the balance to see how everything goes. First tune, let's say. After that, I don't go to listen to myself. Maybe one time, there is no really hard and fast rule of how I do things. Usually I try to avoid spending unnecessary time listening back, because you can always find something wrong with and say, oh, no, let's go and do it again, So if it felt good, then I just leave it. And most of the time I have 2 days. So I say, we come back to the tune, tomorrow. We'll see how it feels. If there is any question mark. Sometimes I do it, I say, I cannot do any better. So, maybe I could do it different, but this is okay. I have to accept it. It's a tough thing to accept something that you're not quite ready to live with. It's a tough thing. Like
Right.
we did Bolivia, and I know I could do better. I know I've done better many times.
Yeah.
It was acceptable. Everybody liked it. So, who am I to fight against that? I mean,
Yeah.
there is no guarantee that next take is going to be any better. So you have
I
to.
thought it was
live
interesting because so when you were going to do when you did the tunes there and you did you already have an arrangement that you wanted to do, or did you make any changes during the song? Okay, we're going to let the bass player play the solo here or whatever. Was that kind of on the fly, or did you
No,
kind of
no.
decide what?
Usually, well, they've played with me, so usually there's certain order in which I do certain tunes. Like some tunes are good for the bass to take first solo, and,
Right.
Traditionally, bass player and drummer, they take solo after piano player. But some tunes is good to let the bass player, like if it's a more complicated a theme, a head on the tune, it's more elaborate on the piano, then I think it's good for the bass player to take a first solo, kind of relief of not having too much piano. If it's a tune like where I start rubato and exposition to the tune, and then I play it in tempo, and then the bass player will take it, So I think that's a reasonable kind of thing. I'm very rarely, I think all the piano players, very rarely to let the drummer have the first solo. Unless it's a drummer's band, it usually doesn't happen. Sometimes drummers lead the trio, so they can take a first solo, But usually it doesn't happen with drums. But bass player, often he could take a first solo, Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear from Tetsuro about when the record was going to come out, or has he given you any info on that yet?
From
Has he Tetsuro talked to you about when the record's going to be released?
Tetsuo.
Tetsuo.
Okay, you're talking about Harasan.
Tetsuo.
Okay.
I'm terrible pronouncing
Okay,
people's
so
names.
no,
Tetsuo.
he didn't. He didn't. No, he didn't say when. But as as I understood, Kisho, my drummer, and Satsuki, the bass player, when we left in the car, go to Tokyo, they after putting the instruments in the car, they came back to studio and found Tetsuo listening to takes, and he was very happy. So so the report was that he was very happy, and so if he's happy, then he's gonna put it out. But you see, I have another part of previous recording session is not released. It's going to come out soon, I guess. So I have, and this direct to disc is going to come out, and then I think this material, an extra material, whatever he recorded, is going to come on CD. So I got a lot of things coming out in Japan.
Yeah, let's talk about the Soul Eyes, because that just came out on CD and it's supposed to come out in April on vinyl. So I'm waiting so I can order my vinyl copy of Vladimir. But that's also I'm sorry?
Have you listened to that?
No. I haven't listened to it yet because I'm going to get it on the vinyl when it comes.
Neither. I haven't heard it.
Well, that's another Tetsuo recording, right? But you did that where, in Stockholm or something?
Yeah.
You recorded with different musicians for that one.
Yeah, I recorded with Swedish musicians.
Who's on that?
The same guys that are on my previous Stockholm, Hans Buckenruth and Musa Fadera. Yeah, so the same, my Stockholm trio. And there's another CD coming from that session.
Okay, because the vinyl records, 2 vinyl records, and I was looking at the selections. You have Beautiful Love.
Yeah.
On that one, Soul Eyes, Ternura Antigua, What a Wonderful World is on there, Out of the Past, Too Late Now, Lush Life is on there. I'm interested to hear how you did Lush Life, Vladimir. So let's talk about that. How did you arrange that, or how did you decide to do that? Because it's been done a lot of different ways by a lot of different people.
Very meticulous, scrupulous work on the. Luckily, I have Billy Strayhorn's recording, so I try to make sure that I have the right melody. I did some changes. I did some alterations in harmony a little bit, basically following his original ideas. But melody is very important. I think I made one mistake though. Despite of my being try to be very accurate, I still played melody. One place I think I played melody. Well, we won't say wrong, but a little bit different, Yeah, but I was trying to be as close to original melody as possible, and I did listen to many versions of that, and realized that most of the people don't play it correctly. It's a very difficult tune to get correctly.
And so what do you mean by correctly?
A little bit, and it's also a tune that is not really open to too many interpretations. It's one of those tunes that you gotta stick to original, almost like a classical piece. You gotta stick to. The more you elaborate on it, somehow the less the tune disappears if you just start playing long solos and everything. So it's a kind of not the tune for that, I feel. A little bit of solo I played, but then basically turn back to the melody. I did it as a solo piano, as I said. With the rhythm section, then you have tendency then to start playing long solos, and it's kind of becoming a little bit boring. There is,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah.
there is
What
there
about
is a tune.
What a Wonderful World? Why did you pick that one?
Well,
Is that one that
that is
What a Wonderful
Japanese.
World?
They don't. I don't know. They don't. My wife and Japanese people, they don't. They can't get enough of that tune. I try to play every time a little bit different. I already recorded at least twice, uh, and we did it again on this direct to disc thing. I mean, he
Yeah.
requested it.
Yeah. So how do you feel about doing that? Having different recordings of it? Is it
I feel very good about doing it because it's a great song. I For a long time I used to use it to close the set, to close the evening. It's a kind of beautiful song, tribute to Louis Armstrong, and it's a very relaxing, beautiful atmosphere, and everybody can go home happy. Because if you play the encore with some, as I used to do, some high intensity stuff, then people tend to ask even more. But if you end it kind of on a very good night, beautiful kind of relaxing thing, the people feel happy and they are relaxed and they can go home fulfilled. And sometimes I forget to play that, and especially in Japan, and and people let me know, oh, you didn't play Wonderful World tonight. What is this? you know. But I try to play a little bit different every time. So I guess maybe it's not a question of a tune, a question how you play it.
right? What about the title tune, the Soul Eyes tune? Where did that come from? The title tune.
Well, that is Mel Waldron's tune. It's Coltrane recorded it. So he made it kind of, he recorded it twice. I think he recorded first time on Prestige a long time ago, when Mel was maybe in the rhythm section, and then he recorded it on with his quartet, and then a few other people recorded. Stan Getz recorded very beautiful version, and I used to play it with Bob Berg, the saxophone player, and I played it with Stan Getz when I was playing with him. A few occasions that I played with him. So I forgot whether I wanted to play it or they asked for it. But it's a tune that I play. It's a beautiful tune. I think it's the best tune Mel Waldron has written that I know of. Left Alone, it's also Mel Waldron's tune that is well known in Japan, and I have played that also. But I don't think I ever recorded that. I don't think. But I played that. But it's also very, very well known. Are you familiar with that?
Not very
Left,
familiar. I think I heard the Coltrane one, but obviously I think it's gonna be.
no, Left Alone, I don't think Coltrane recorded that. But I think,
Oh, I was
somebody,
talking about Soul Eyes, not Left Alone.
maybe
No.
something, I think maybe Abe Lincoln with Max Roach, that organization, they recorded it.
Okay.
Yeah, with Mel Waldron on the piano. But since Mel Waldron recorded it several times, and of course he's very popular. He was very popular in Japan as well. As Billie Holiday accompanist, and then with his different association with Eric Dolphy and Archie Shepp and different people. So yeah, yeah.
And then a couple
No, it's
other
a beautiful
tunes.
tune.
Go ahead.
What's that?
No, I was going to ask you about a couple of the other tunes that's on it.
Oh, okay. Go
The
ahead.
the Tenura Antigua.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Was This tune was haunting me. I heard it by accident. This beautiful Brazilian singer, Paula Morellenbaum, that used to be a part of a Jobim ensemble. She used to be singing in the background, and her husband is a very, very fine cello player. Also was in the Jobim ensemble band. And so I'm familiar with both of them. I'm very big fan of hers. She's a wonderful singer. So I happened to listen to her new album and many different tunes that I liked. But that tune was very haunting. I usually listen to this stuff when I'm biking. So I hear this tune and this arrangement. It's very sad in some ways, particularly if you know the lyrics about somebody waiting for the lover to come, and it's one of the storchy kind of songs, but very beautiful melody. So I got interested in that. I didn't think at the time to record it or play even, just that it keeps haunting you. So I start digging out, and I found out that many other Brazilian singers have recorded it or performed it. So there were several videos on YouTube that I found, and I started digging a little more. Then I said, maybe it's gonna sound okay on piano. Maybe I can express that feeling that the song projecting. It's very sad, but it's beautiful at the same time. So I had it written out, and in the studio, we after we did many different tunes, I said maybe we try it, you know. And we tried one time. I tried to stick to the melody, and it was okay. It was nice. But then the next day, I said maybe I don't need to stick to so close to the melody all the time. I could play solo on this. And so what we recorded it, I tried to first play it like the song is, and then just try to play solo on it, just like it's regular jazz tune. And it came out fine. So we did one take and said I don't want to touch it anymore. So apparently they liked it very much in the Venus records, because they wanted me to record it again now for the direct to disc. I haven't played it since. There are some tunes that you play in studio and never touch again, because it's very difficult to create that kind of feeling live when you're in a club. Even though it's possible, especially in Japan, because people listen so attentively. So it's possible. But I keep forgetting about that when I'm over here, because here in the clubs, some people listening, some people talking, and the pianos may not be in a perfect condition. So that kind of tune is very sensitive, and it requires very good piano, and it requires attentive listening. It's not just something that you can get through just by playing.
Right. Then one of the other tunes I wanted to ask you about is Django, because that's on the
Django,
the new
yes.
one too.
Django, yeah, it's tune that I played through the years, but I didn't think it's on my White Knight records, but I don't think I did the justice to that. So I knew that at some point I need to record it again, because it didn't come off on that record as well as I wanted to. It used to be my go-to tune. I played it for some great musicians, because I like this. It's almost a classical structure on it when you play the tune, and then you improvise on completely different set of changes. It has almost classical feel to it, and yeah. So it used to be one of the tunes that I would go to, when people ask, why can't you play something? Yeah.
Do you ever go back and listen to your old recordings and on your old albums ever, and think about which ones you want to record over again?
No, not so much. But every once in a while it comes, if somebody talks about something like this, and on a regular basis, I don't listen back to any of my recordings, but sometimes it comes up, some tunes that I know that I have not gotten the perfect version that I'm looking for, and if the tune deserves it, this tune definitely deserves I used to run into John Lewis. He was my neighbor, so I used to run into him all the time. I gave him my record with this. I said, told him that I recorded it, among other people that recorded that tune, of course, and he liked it. So at least he said he did. So but he was my neighbor on Upper East Side. I used to run a lot into him in the street, and of course I went many times to listen to MGQ when they were playing New York. I used to go to Blue Note, hear them, and then they played one time, several weeks, I think, at the Cafe Carlisle. I don't know if you're familiar.
I've never been there. But.
Yeah, I used to go there all the time, and so they were there for a number of weeks actually. I don't know what's going on there now, but last time I was there, they had jazz music in the bar as well. Not only in a big room, showroom, but also in the bar they had a band. They used to have only solo piano. One time Hank Jones played there. Every piano player in New York was there listening to him. Usually Barbara Carroll was the pianist over there. They used to like women pianists, Maria McPartland played there at some time, and then Barbara Carroll for a very long time. Just solo piano. But then she probably couldn't make it, and Hank Jones played there. So, everybody was there listening to what we call Bad Henry. Man, I mean, you couldn't get any better solo piano than Hank Jones. So everybody was there taking their lesson.
Yeah, I really when you were doing the recording in the studio, I thought it was the speakers and how good everything sounded when they played it back, because they not only recorded it direct to disc, they also recorded it DSD digital as well, which that may come out on a SACD or CD or whatever.
You can bet your bottom dollar that Tetsuo is going to release everything, on some kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and the DSD sounded unbelievable when he played that.
Yeah. Back. Well, the Japanese, they whatever else they always make sure it's a very high quality recordings. For the most part, that was also true about Sawano's. Atelier Savano, my previous label, they recorded sometimes, some not so super great piano players, but in my opinion anyway, but the recording quality was always superb. And also designed for the cover, they also try to make it as attractive as possible. So that's a Japanese thing,
Yeah, they're meticulous. And I was talking. I think I was talking to. Was that Tetsuo's daughter there that was sitting behind him? Yes. I was talking to her about where they got the records pressed, and they get them pressed right there in Tokyo, at a record plant that's been pressing since the 50s or something, and they had never stopped pressing. Like in the United States, a lot of them closed. In Japan, they kept buying records even through the 90s. When it was almost gone, and they kept pressing them there. So, and they're supposed to be a high, top-notch pressing plant, because all the Venus records are usually pretty good.
The thing, though, in Japan is that it's a little bit different from other places, because they place so much importance on meeting the artist and getting the autograph. I mean, it happens in other places too, but it's vital importance for Japanese. So they keep buying records because you cannot download that kind of thing. You can download meeting with artist and having a photo with him and having his autograph. It's very important to Japanese people, and so that's why they keep buying records. One of the reasons, I think, and they prefer to download. They want to have concrete thing in their hands.
Yeah, well, I think that's becoming more important even just to everybody with the whole AI thing, because I don't know if you've seen this, Vladimir, but there was I think Champion Fulton and a couple of different jazz players were complaining that they were seeing their name on Spotify and all these tunes are being put under their name, and it's not them playing, it's AI. And they're putting their name on there.
Wow.
And that's happening to a lot of artists.
You froze them for a minute.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, I think.
You're freezing there for a minute.
Okay, so
Yeah,
a lot of these artists, yeah, they're putting their names up and putting AI songs under their name, jazz tunes that are made by AI.
Yeah, that's the future. I better make many, many mistakes so they cannot confuse me with AI.
Well, yeah.
Playing a lot of wrong notes. So, oh, okay, that's him because he plays a lot of wrong notes. It's not AI.
Yeah, it's
I
becoming
think,
a problem. It's becoming a big problem because they're complaining to Spotify and these different streaming services that that's not me. You're using my name, and all these AI things are songs are being put under it, and it's becoming a big problem.
how does it sound though? Is it?
It's just generic
are those
AI, you
songs-
know.
Are they playing? Are they playing on the same level? The same?
No, but here's the thing: to the casual listener, the casual listener's just going to hear a jazz tune and be like, "Oh, okay." Well, they're not going to pay so close attention.
I see. I see. Okay. So are these famous people or just random people?
I mean, fairly, yeah. I think who was it? There's several of complaining on I saw on Instagram, different jazz musicians, 3 or 4 or 5 of them that are pretty big names that play in New York and everything, and it's happening to them.
I see. Interesting. We're going to be all replaced by clones.
Yeah, but I think people are starting to realize how important it is if you're going to support the artists that you buy the physical medium, that you have a buy-in. I mean, I always looked at that even when I was a kid when I bought my favorite band's album or whatever. It's like a buy-in to that person. You know, it's more than just listening to the music. It's having that piece of that CD or whatever. Like I found this one. You probably remember this one.
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that session.
So I picked up a few of different CDs that you can't find here in the U.S. You can't find these. So I picked up like 3 of your CDs when I was there because they're very difficult. This one has George Mraz and Billy Hart on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember this. We made 2 sessions with this band.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's another one from that.
This has got some. This has some great tunes on here, like Autumn in New York, maybe September, Burke's Works, Dizzy. So tell us a little bit about this one when you did this one.
It was interesting because when I recorded that, well, I had a contract with Savanos that every once in a while, I forgot how often, they should let me go to New York and record with New York Rhythm Section. So I just went and did it. I didn't tell them anything. And when I came back, I said, we made this session because I didn't know how it's going to come out. So, I just recorded on my own risk. I went there, and so and then I said, I think this session is better than White Nights. So they got very, very intrigued, and they bought the whole thing. Without listening to that. And then pretty soon after that, I had a tour coming up in Japan. So I told them, hopefully you're releasing the album at the same time I'm making a tour. And they're saying, no, the number of a catalog is not coming up. Oh, I got really upset. I said, no, in this case, I'm not coming to Japan if you're not going to release my album. It's ridiculous. So they did this design for this album. They did very quickly. They released it at the time for my tour.
Yeah, it was recorded in what does it say, 2006
Six.
at the
Yeah,
studio.
yeah, yeah. I remember that was studio that Mraz recorded. Actually, they recorded a lot of stuff for Venus, and the engineer, the lady engineer, Catherine, that recorded this session, also recorded a lot for Venus Records. And that studio, uh, the Japanese guitar player, he was one of the co-owner. Matsuo, I think his name. He used to play with Elvin Jones. Anyway, so that was a studio that George Mraz has recommended to me, and then and we played some live gigs with Louis Nash, but he couldn't make the recording, so we got Billy Hart, which is always great,
Yeah, that's a
know
great
Billy
lineup.
Hart I know Billy Hart for many years. He used to he used to play a lot of gigs with me in New York, and first time we played in actually in Finland. He came with another band, and I had a gig coming. I called him in a hotel. He was sleeping. I said, "Do you want to play with me tonight?" Yes.
Oh, really?
So,
So that was a pretty quick put together
oh
for it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to go to New York, hop on the plane, and go to New York and sit in with all these guys all the time. So they knew who I was. So I saw that he was coming in another band to Helsinki. So just they got off the plane. I know he jet lagged and everything, so he was sleeping. He was sleeping it off in the daytime. But I called him. I said I have a gig, and my drummer was kind enough to let him play with me. Of course, everybody wanted to hear Billy Hart playing.
Right. Then I found this one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah,
And the musicians on here I'm not familiar with. The Pirola Gad on the bass and
yeah, yeah.
Jukis
It's my.
Watilia
He
on
used to
drums.
be, he used to be my bass player in. Well, Yukis is on that. The drummer is the same as on my groovy
Oh,
album.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Many others have on other records too. He made maybe 5, 6, or 7 records with me. Yeah, Perula was my bass player in Stockholm for many years. Actually played with me in New York too, some jobs. Yeah, he's a good bass player. He's not on the scene so much in Stockholm, but he's a good bass player. Yeah, and we used to play a lot together. There was a place in Stockholm, very crazy, a small club. How did you find that? I think it's not in print anymore.
No, I found it at Disc Union.
Yeah,
Disc Union, but this was recorded
I think
back in
originally,
'98.
I think originally it was different. It was different cover.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? And where was it
yeah.
recorded, Vladimir? Because it doesn't say. It just
It
says
was
recorded
recorded in
'98.
Finnish video.
Okay,
Let me tell you a story about that, if you're interested. Now it's water under the
of course.
bridge. It's water under the bridge now, but it's kind of illegal. Uh, um, I came from New York, and they used to do these sessions for Finnish radio. Just like one-time shots. So I had this after absence of quite a few years. I made this session for Finnish radio, and we played the club too with this trio. And then when Japanese people got interested in me, they came to my island, and I played the tape. I played the CD from this session to them. And the first tune I played was Hashibai. And immediately, Minoru Savano, one of the brothers, said, "Oh, I like that. We take it." So this is the record that I did for Finnish radio, and it started Atelier Savano's label, because previous to that situation they didn't have label. They were just leasing different records and releasing in Japan some European and some American maybe things. on under a license. But this record they released by themselves in their own label.
Yeah, on the back it says Atelier Silvano.
Yeah. So this is the record that started them off. Now it's a fairly decent label. They have many different, mostly Europeans. They have many. I don't follow them anymore, but they're still selling. They have concerts. They arrange usually concerts once a year. One in Tokyo, one in Osaka. It's Osaka-based label. One of the brothers lives in Paris, and one of the brothers lives in Osaka, and he's got a sandal shop. They're selling sandals and shoes. But they are big jazz lovers. So,
Was that one recorded over one session or several?
one session, and I recorded several sessions like this for Finnish radio, and the Finnish radio they had no idea it was going to be a record in Japan. But one time they got, I recorded, how was it called? Russian Lullaby, and it was a really hit in Japan. So they got they got a wind because it became such a big seller. Then they noticed, and they started. And the guy who recorded us, the producer for Finnish radio, he noticed the same date. So they start calling me and they say, what's with this session? It seems very similar and the tunes are the same. What is that? And so, okay, so they discovered that I used these tapes to make record in Japan. So they put a penalty. The record company had to pay double for the recording. Return the cost of the recording to the Finnish radio double. But they were happy because it was still selling very well, so it was nothing to them. But to me it was funny because Finnish radio had, for very low cost, had recordings, and they didn't even think about preserving it and playing it several times. It was just like one-time shot on the radio.
Yeah, it's a
and
shame.
Then they would erase it, And the musicians had no idea I was selling it to Japanese. So that, for me, it was fun. I used to come by plane early in the morning to Helsinki from my island, do the session, and leave with evening plane. So it was like boom, boom, and I would get several $1,000s from that session, and nobody was any wiser. So I did several records like this.
Yeah, and then I found another one too. I didn't have this one in my. I didn't have this one in my collection.
But it's the same one. Is it the same one, or is it Portrait? No, this is Portrait in Music.
This is Portrait in Music, and it has this is you and Pekka and Jukis.
Yeah, this is also one of the
Oh, is it?
Finnish recordings. Yeah, I remember that one too. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, bye. Hello. It's a good one. I like that. Yeah, I liked that time when I was recording this.
Yeah,
And
and there's a lot of great tunes on this. But like
Yeah.
these, you can't find these in the U.S. anywhere. You can't find them.
I think they're out of print as well in Japan.
Yeah, so I was happy. I saw them, and I was like, I'm going to get them.
People in Japan, they're coming to photograph with those still. So
This says it was recorded in Helsinki.
yeah,
The same place you did the other one.
same one. Yeah, nice radio studio. They had two big Steinways, everything fine. Just they didn't think about preserving it. No Finnish record company wanted that. Radio didn't want that. They just played it one time and thank you very much. But the Japanese wanted that, so I was I was happy, and I paid the guys a little bit extra, so they knew that I had those. I preserved those things for myself. Yeah, but those are good records. I put I put a lot of thought and the practice into those albums. I used to practice for those sessions. We had also I was it was a very good time for me because the Savano Records was paying me salary whether I did records for them or not. I had a monthly salary from them. They kept me on a retainer, so the other record companies would not persuade me to record for them. So that was lucky time for me. Those times are over, of course. But at that time I was so popular that I drew the salary every month from record company just to just to not record for anybody else.
Well, the at the when you played at the Ginza Swing the last night that I was there, last night you were there.
Yeah.
That was full, and I got there early, and I was kind of upset because they stuck me in the back for the first set. So I was in the very back corner.
Okay, so you came for the first set.
Yeah, I was there for the first set, and I was at the back.
Okay,
And when the waiter came back up, I said, "Hey, some people have left. Can I move up and so I can see?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And I was like, "I said, can you check?" So he goes, he checks, and he goes, "I got the best seat in the house for." He said, you're gonna be right behind him." I'm like, "All right, fine." So I didn't realize I was gonna be right next to you for the
Uh,
last set.
oh,
So
I thought you just got there for a second set.
no, I was there for the first set
Okay, you
too.
were the whole evening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I got a good
I
seat
didn't
though.
I didn't expect. It was funny because I didn't expect. I thought we were going to. It was last gig, and I thought we were going to quietly fade out. I didn't
Yeah,
expect
it
full
was.
house. It was when I came, I was so shocked because it was completely packed, sold out, both sets, and I was, as usual, the singer. She wanted to have rehearsals, and I had no time to do anything. Just barely had time to change my clothes and run back to the club. I had no time to eat anything. So in the end, I was so tired, and there was millions of people thought. I mean, of course, I'm very grateful and lucky to have audience wanted to have my autographs and pictures with them and everything. But I was dying because I didn't have time to eat, and I just wanted so much to have a little bit of something, and I couldn't leave because every time somebody saw me, can I take a picture with you? And there's more records to sign and stuff like this. Finally, I escaped. I was in the club, sitting there, and I mean, it's funny to say that because one should be so lucky to have all those people coming for your autographs. But I was so
Yeah,
tired, so hungry,
yeah,
and so I tried to escape this whole situation where there were more and more people coming with records, and there
yeah.
was
It was
never.
great. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
amazing, and
it's
you guys played
fantastic, but
great.
sometimes it can be too much.
Yeah,
Of course, I'm eternally grateful to them for I mean, but it just so happened that we had to deal with the singer, and she always wants to have, like most singers, she always wants to have rehearsals.
right. So
You know,
she brought the music for you guys, right? And put
well, totally unnecessary because I know
yeah,
all
it
her,
seemed like you knew the tunes.
I know
So,
her tunes.
but
Trust me. But of course, the sometimes we use different bass players, so so yeah. But they seem to like the vocal part. A little bit sad. Uh, my drummer tells me that many clubs now want to have vocalists.
uh, personally, I'd rather have all instrumental or have a vocal, someone who's
They
there that does. Personally, that's just me. But
say no more, and I'm sure at least in my case, I think the most of the audiences would be just as happy to have just a trio. I'm positive. But the club owners want to make sure that some part of the audience And maybe it makes sense, after intensive listening to instrumental stuff, maybe they want to relax a little bit and hear something more like light, where they don't have to concentrate so much. Maybe, I don't know. But since they organize the tours, I'm not really in a position to fight it.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. She was a good vocalist. Some of it was
Yeah,
in a couple of songs were in Japanese. I couldn't understand the lyrics. So, but
I recorded with her.
yeah.
So
So
there is.
the when I was sitting back, when I was sitting behind you, there was a gentleman across the table who noticed him when he came in. He had a jacket and he had all
Oh, I
this
see. I know.
writing on it. And he had on his "No Jazz, No Life." I
I know.
remember Clifford. He had all these things written on his jacket, and he's sitting across on the other side from me, and I'm sitting there the whole time. I'm enjoying it, and he comes up to me, and he gave this to me as a souvenir from your show. So
Yeah.
he drew me on the back of the coaster, and he was like, "I want to give this to you," and I was like, "Oh wow!" Yeah, that looks just like me. So that's like a memento from your show, Vladimir.
Yeah.
So
I know this guy very well. He gave me a shirt where it looks, it's like white shirt, long white shirt, and it says Vladimir Shafranov Trio, and it has some tunes on the back, and even the music, with the cliff and everything. I have that shirt. I sometimes wear it in the summertime when I play it's a nice shirt, but it has all this no jazz, no life, and all this, and my name all over the place. So yeah, so I know him. I forgot. He's got a funny name, which sounds almost. It's a Japanese name, but it sounds almost Italian, like Serrano or Sergano or something like this. Sounds almost Italian, but it's Japanese. Yeah, I know this gentleman very well. Yeah, he comes always when I play.
yeah. So
That is also very. It's also it's also very gratifying that when you come to Japan, lots of people that you meet previously, they're coming back. I find that very gratifying that a lot of people, some new people are coming, but lots of people that I met previously, they are back, coming for more. So, yeah.
yeah, then it was.
How was,
Go ahead.
so how was your trip back?
Actually, coming back wasn't terrible because it was only about 10-hour flight to Chicago, and there was nobody next to me. So I could turn and stretch out a little bit, and it wasn't terrible. Yeah, so it wasn't bad coming back,
Lucky
except
for
I
you.
was tired.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It took me a week to get back around. I kept waking up at 1 in the morning. I couldn't go
Are
back to sleep.
you missing your brown cow?
Yeah, yeah, brown cow. Yeah, yeah, the great pancakes.
Yeah, I can imagine. But they have to be super great for me to get up 7 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah,
They have to
yeah,
be made of gold.
yeah. And it seems like your daughter had a great time
Oh yeah,
going.
she can't she can't wait to go back to Japan.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
definitely want to go back.
she told me it was the trip of her life. Of course, she got all this attention.
Yeah,
She was the star. She was the star of my tour. I was like in the back. It was the same with my wife. If my wife came, everybody was around. Lena, my wife, everybody was uh, loving both of them so much. So it's good. It takes a little bit of attention and pressure off me. Let them. Uh, but she's a wonderful girl. She's. I remember when she came to my session in Rudy Van Gelder's in New York. Everybody. She just lights up the room. I don't know how she does that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
She just that's
She's
her
very, very
personality.
personable. Yeah, she's very
Yeah,
personable.
it's amazing that and her sister is the same way. When we were living in New York, everywhere we went, everybody was like Alexandra. I mean, hello to you too. But even when she was a baby, everybody was around her. I don't know. It's a gift. Uh, they tell me I was also like this when I was a child. You know, I was a center of I was a center of
Center.
attention always. But now I'm glad my children can do that. You know, so yeah. So Rebecca was very happy.
I
She
was,
stayed few more days behind. She went to Kyoto. There are many things to see. Of course, I never got a chance to see them because I'm always traveling and getting ready to play and
yeah.
stuff like that, you know. So
Well, you need to
one
go
thing that I
sometime.
will do as
You
a
need to go
tourist.
sometime where you can spend more time just to tour.
Yeah, I
Like,
need to go sometime when I'm not playing because
yeah,
this tour was, you know, lots of one-nighters. We didn't have any, as I like it. I'm considering it's a waste of time. You know, you get your chops getting cold, you know, and sometimes you need a day off, of course. But basically, I like to just do it, make my money, and get the hell out of there. You know,
yeah. I
that's
really enjoyed going around the city and getting on the trains and
of
going to the
course,
jazz cafe and going to the record stores. I bought way too many. I was going to show
especially
you a few that I
especially
got.
for you, especially for you. You're the first time there. I can't imagine. I can't imagine how it was. I mean, I'm trying to remember. It was so overwhelming when I came first time.
I had
So it was
stacks.
different. It was different times. You know, we had no internet. We had no connections. We had no phone. We had no cell phones. Everything was mystery. You know.
I have to
So
show you. I have to show you some of the ones I got. Of course, I got several Japanese ones, but I also picked up I picked up this, which is fantastic.
oh yeah, I
Tubby
know this.
Hayes
Of course,
live at Ronnie Scott's.
I used to have that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have that one.
Well, I had that on CD. I didn't have it. I didn't have vinyl one.
Yeah, and I was at the Eagle Jazz Cafe, and they played this record, which I'd never heard before. I'd seen it, but I've never heard it. So this one here, J.R. Montrose,
Yeah,
the
of
message.
course.
This was
I know him very
fantastic.
well. Yeah.
Yes, they were
Yes.
playing that.
Very early, I found out about him. He was playing in the Kenny Dorham. There used to be a group, Jazz Prophets. One of the first records I had, Kenny Dorham with J.R. Montrose on the saxophone. I didn't know who the hell those people were. Bobby Timmons for the piano, Sam Jones. It was turned out to be Sam Jones' first professional professional band in New York where he joined with Kenny Dorham in the Café Bohemia. That's a very, very good record. I don't know if you know that.
Oh yeah, yep,
Kenny
yep.
Dorham, Café
Kenny
Bohemia.
Durham. Yeah, I have. I think there's a couple of volume one, volume two. I
Yes,
think I got the
exactly.
first one.
But I had the first one. I had the,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, of course they're digging up extra music to release as usually. But the first one usually is the best one.
right.
Where he announced, "Autumn in New York." Yeah.
Yep. Then I found this one too, which you recommended. To
Oh,
Duke with Love,
I love this record.
Arm Farmer. Yeah, you recommended this to me, and of course this has Cedar Walton, Sam Jones, and
I
Billy
know you
Higgins.
want to point it. It's a Art Farmer. First of all, I love. Second of all, this is the best rhythm section of that period. Really, for me, you can't beat that rhythm section with Sam Jones, Billy Cedar, Sam Jones, Billy Higgins. You can't find any better rhythm section than that. And Sam Jones told me all, and I heard from Cedar. They used to play as this trio a lot in New York and small clubs. And then a group of Japanese people came one time, and this girl, she comes to the dressing room and said to them, "Oh, we really love your music. We'd like to take you to Japan on tour." And they're like, "Get out of here. You don't need to say that. We heard all that. Go and sit down. If you like us, it's good. Go sit down and listen." I said, "No, no, no, I mean it." So the next time the manager comes in, who spoke a little better, he spoke English a little better. He said, This is like the most famous pop singer in Japan, and she likes to sing jazz, so she wants to take you on the tour. So suddenly they in Japan, and they making all kinds of records, and they doing the tour with this. I don't know if you heard the Kimiko, this nice record.
What is it called?
It's called Kimiko is Here.
Kimiko is up.
Japanese, she's a very well known in Japan.
I've seen her. I've seen records by her, but I've never heard her.
Yes. Well, this record is fantastic because of the trio. They play behind singers so well. You can't find any better trio to accompany singer. And so they recorded, and Pitin, they recorded 3 records, a trio record, a record with Sadao Watanabe, the saxophone player, who is in his 90s and still playing, and the record with Kimiko. All 3 great records. So they did all kinds of. St. John's recorded solo record with string quartet, trio with string quartet, all kinds of things. Used to be this label East Wind. So Art Farmer recorded 3 or 4 albums with this rhythm section, which I consider his best recordings, really.
Yeah, really. Yeah, your favorites. Yeah.
The really very best recording from this series is Yesterday's Souls.
Yeah, and this is the East Wind too. Yeah.
Yeah, but the best of them is Yesterday's Souls.
Okay, I'll have to get that one too. I'll put that on my list.
Yeah, this one is very good.
Then I got this one. I bought this. I always buy when I go somewhere. I'll buy an album based on just the cover. Sometimes I'll never know who. I don't know who it is. This one was very good. The Jack Sheldon Quartet, and the name of it's "Get Out of Town."
Yeah, I played with him. Yeah.
Did you?
He was also a comedian.
Oh, okay. I never heard of him, and I was like, I just liked the cover. I thought the cover was so cool.
He's a very well known West Coast trumpet player who is also singer and a comedian, and he was so funny. I had to I did a tour with him. We're on the floor every evening because he was so funny. He's a great player too, but his jokes are so funny. Yeah, I
didn't know that. Okay.
The band was on the floor every time because he had millions of jokes, and his delivery is so fantastic. And then he played great.
This is a great record. Great swinging.
Wonderful player. Yeah.
I was really happy I got that. Then I got. I
used to play with Shelly Manne.
Okay. Yeah, because I've never noticed his own records.
He is a very strong part of West Coast scene. What is this?
Art Blakey, Saint Germain, but this is I didn't have Volume 3.
Olympia Stadium.
Yeah, I didn't have Volume 3. Huh?
Bud Powell's on this.
Yeah, you have Kenny Clark. Bobby Timmons is on the piano. Benny Golson, Jimmy Merritt, Lee Morgan. Yeah, that's who it is. Bobby Timmons.
Yeah.
But this is fantastic, and I didn't have this one. So this is only like $6. It was their used records were very reasonable there, and it's in great shape.
Yeah.
But I got this one here because I didn't have this one on vinyl. Tommy Flanagan.
It's great.
Yeah, the trio Overseas.
Let me see this different cover. Different cover from Overseas. No, this is Japanese, some kind of
Yeah, Japanese
this
pressing.
record is very, 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 very popular in Japan. There is a pianist. There is a pianist in Osaka. Yeah, of course. This album is recorded in Sweden. Tommy Flanagan came to Sweden with J.J. Johnson Quintet. And the Swedish people, somebody in Sweden had a good sense of recording him. He never had any solo album on his own name. So this record has become very popular in Japan. So much so that one piano player in Osaka, he opened the club by this name, Overseas. and he is a big fan of Tommy Flanagan, and he recorded everything that Tommy recorded. He recorded, and he's got like a seminars, workshops in his club, all about Tommy Flanagan. It's like a big memorial to Tommy Flanagan. When you come to that club, you see all these records and all the photo of Tommy, and I heard about it already in New York when Tommy came back, and he and his wife, they told me how fantastic it was to come to Osaka and see this kind of respect, this kind of adoration in Japan, which they never get. I mean, they never get. Well, towards his life, he was more respected in homeland as well, but never that kind of super adoration that Japanese only in Japan you can get.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, he's one of your favorites, though, right? He's one of your favorite players. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, he's one of the three greats from Detroit.
And I got this one. I didn't have this on vinyl. Stitt Plays Bird.
Plays Bird. Yeah.
Yeah. So I picked the. Which I like because I like all the tunes. I love all the tunes.
It's okay album. I don't think it's one of the Steed's best, but it's good.
Yeah, I love all the tunes. Ornithology, Scrapple from the Apple, all the classics. Charlie Parker.
Well, everything Steed ever did, it's kind of a tribute to Bird. Oh, this is fantastic record.
Yep. So I got that one. I didn't have
that
that
one.
one.
Before?
No, on vinyl.
Yeah.
I have a CD, but I wanted to get it on vinyl.
Yeah.
San Francisco, Sam Jones, Lewis.
Of course, I started with vinyl, and then we're going in reverse.
Well, yeah. If I can't get them all on. They're expensive, so sometimes I'll get the CD.
In my time, there were regular. In my time, there were regular records coming out.
Yeah, and this one I don't see that much. I don't see that much over here where I am on vinyl. So that's right. Over there.
The situation has reversed.
Yeah,
we used to buy this kind of records for $5.
Yeah, these weren't too bad. These were maybe $10 or $12. But
I tell you, this is the best record that Barry ever did.
Oh, you think it's his best ever?
I think it's the best he ever did. This one and the one he did in Tokyo are the best of his.
Yeah, this has got some great tunes on it. Star Eyes, Moose the Mooch.
It's a very famous record. You don't need to tell me anything about that record.
Then I got I didn't have this one on vinyl either, but I wanted the Japanese Work Time Sonny Rollins.
Oh yeah,
they're
all famous records which you got.
Yeah. So I wanted to add that
There's
to my collection.
There's no business like show business, like all business I know.
And then I got Eric Alexander record I didn't have. I got this one. I don't know if you've seen this one. This is Akira Miyazawa. This is a fantastic sounding record. Japanese.
Oh yeah, this is a Venus.
It's wonderful.
I think
this
it's a
one
Venus,
is on the. This one's on King Records, where you recorded King Records.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, so and then I got some other Japanese ones, but the
you got good ones.
Yeah, I got a lot of good ones, and I got a couple of the Tsuyoshi Yamamoto's vinyl records that are hard to find here, so I picked those up. His trio records, which are very good. These are Venus too. So these are very good. And I saw him play when I was there over at the Alfie Club Alfie,
right?
And that was a lot. That was very good. And I met his producer when I was there. So I'm trying to now I'm in contact with Disc Union so that I can import records and sell them on my website with the Bird Box record stuff that I'm doing. So
that's good.
That was a lot of interesting things. So that was the clubs. I you know what else I found interesting was that there wasn't a piece of trash on anywhere in that city, Vladimir, in Tokyo. No matter where I went, there was no trash.
I used to go early in the morning to have my breakfast in Osaka, and I seen young children, they get off the bus and they're picking everything. School children, they get and early in the morning and they clean it. Not that that was too much to clean, but whatever they children, I remember that, seeing that and saying, what a fantastic country. What makes sense, children learning how to behave and how to clean after themselves, after other people early in their age. Everything you can eat your breakfast off the street. In a park we went with my daughter in Tokyo. It's so clean, and there's a guys going with the bikes. They're watching that nobody's leaving anything anywhere. It's just that's super fantastic country. Everything is so organized.
Yeah, everything's the transportation system. I mean, those trains are right on the money. They're
Listen, there was one train was one time several seconds late, and it was in the newspaper. It was like scandal.
yeah, unless there's a breakdown or something, and they'll put it on there if there's a train that's going to be late in red that they've got
Yeah.
to make. But that
No, you
was
don't
like
need to tell
clockwork.
me about Japan. Sometimes it's irritating how super organized they are.
Yeah,
For somebody like me who is not organized at all,
yeah,
to me it's but I'm working with Japanese musicians, so for me it's easy because they tell me what to do and I follow them. I just because they know what to do. But it was a whole different ball game when I used to bring the band from over here. So I had to watch over them, and no, it doesn't work because everybody has their own idea about how to get on time. They think 15 minutes is okay. 15 minutes late is all right. It's flexible. The Japanese don't think that. They get very angry and frustrated if you're 1 minute late.
yeah, yeah,
Just to give you an idea, like we have a lobby call to go to the gig, do a sound check and everything. Let's say 7 o'clock in the evening. Okay, so I'm getting ready, getting my stuff together. So 5 to 7, they call me up in my room, and they're saying you're late. I said, what do you mean I'm late? It's not even 7 yet. Yeah, by the time you get to the elevator, by the time you get down, you will be late. That's the Japanese mentality. You understand me? Yeah.
which is kind of how I am. I'm kind of like that, so it doesn't bother me because I hate being late.
Yeah. No, I don't want to be late. No, no, no. Don't get me wrong. I'm not late. But I don't want to be there 15 minutes before, which is
Yeah,
what Japanese want. They want you
yeah.
to be, for them, on time means that you're there 20 minutes before.
That's what my mom taught me. My mom taught me you get there 15 minutes early so nobody waits on you.
Yes, your mom was smart. Yeah, I know, and I learned that. Trust me, I learned that. It's always said it's better to be 5 minutes earlier than 1 minute late.
Yeah,
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 yeah. So I learned that. I don't screw around because I understood that in Japan, you need to start on time, but most of all, you need to finish on time because many people, in the concerts especially, they are calculating their time to get on the train, to go to where they live. And if they miss that train, it may be a disaster. They need to take a taxi or wait. Maybe it's a last train, something. So it needs to be exactly. But they explained that to me, because over here we're not that disciplined.
yeah, yeah. Then I started. My stack of records kept getting bigger and bigger, Vladimir. So I was running out of room in my suitcase. So I started buying more CDs because there were a lot of them I didn't have. So I got this one, Phineas Newborn.
Oh yeah,
This one. So
you
and
got
these were
good
pretty
ones.
cheap.
It's a good investment.
Yeah, these were like $5. I picked up Lee Morgan,
Wow.
which is a great one. Um,
Yeah.
then I picked up Art Pepper. I'm a
You
big
got
Art
good
Pepper
ones.
fan.
You got the good ones. Hot
Yeah.
pepper is very popular in Japan.
Yep. I picked up what else I get? I got a Ron Carter one that I'd never seen before.
I'm not familiar with this cover anyway.
Yeah, it's
I
Ron
don't know.
Carter. It's called the Bars and. and it's I'd never seen it before.
So maybe it's one of the later ones. I don't follow all of his records.
Yeah, this was done in 1997, and it's got Lewis Nash on drums, Stephen Scott on piano, and Steve Kroon on percussion.
Yeah.
So I
No,
picked that up.
I don't have those. I don't have those albums. I think I stopped buying Ron Carter's albums a long time ago.
Jackie's Bag, Jackie McLean.
Oh yeah, I had that is a classic, Jackie McLean.
Yeah.
You got to have that.
Yep, that's a good. I need to get it on vinyl.
Yeah.
Mal Waldron, Mal 4. I picked that
Yeah.
up, and then I picked up Charles Lloyd too that I didn't have. Later Charles Lloyd.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's on ECM Records.
Okay. Yes.
So he's got like Billy Higgins is on it, John Abercrombie on guitars on it, Larry Grenadier on the bass, and then Brad Meldow on piano.
I see.
So-
Yeah. It's a good lineup.
Yeah, and then I got a bunch of Japanese ones too that like Takio Moriyama.
The drummer.
Yeah, which is really good. And then this drummer that I saw over at the Pit Inn that I'd never heard of,
Right.
this guy,
That one yeah, I know.
Yoshi Kabayashi.
Yeah, you showed me.
Yeah, incredible. I was really impressed. They were very good.
Oh yeah,
Straight ahead jazz.
We got good guys in Japan. No question. Many good people. Many good people. A good pianist too, and they are very much into tradition. They study, even those people who play more, let's say more modern style. They all still study tradition. You can't avoid it because they all go to jam sessions, so they need to know the tunes. They need to know the repertoire. They can't avoid it, which is not the question. Which is not the situation here. People here they're coming out of schools and they start playing their own tunes with their own bodies, and they never confront the real older people who tell them, you don't know this tune, go home and practice. You don't.
Right.
We talk
Yeah.
about that.
That's the next. That's the next topic I want to talk about, Vladimir.